Hi, what you're about to watch is a recording of a CCL youth meeting conducted on February 8th, 2021, to update all members of the team on new and existing projects that they can get involved in. I hope you enjoy.
One. Just regarding service hours, if you aren't already, please be using the Google form if you do want those affirmed. And I am probably going to send that Google form out after this meeting, and everyone can fill it out for this meeting. So if you attended, you automatically get those service hours. And if and when you do need those hours validated, just DM me on Slack or reach out to your department leader and they can contact me. But it'll take just a few days to put together a service report for your school or National Honor Society, wherever you may need to report those hours to.
Awesome. And I suppose for those of you who have been to some of these meetings before, you've noticed that we've changed things up a little bit. While the actual presentation is the same, we've moved the presentations. Traditionally, these were on Monday mornings, which some of us, I guess, realized in the past month was terrible for everybody, and nobody wanted to do Monday mornings. And that's reflective in the fact that we have more people today than we've ever had on a Saturday morning. So we're now going to be moving these presentations to hopefully a weekday, shortening them so they don't take an hour any longer. And most importantly, we're going to be recording the meetings and sending them out afterwards along with additional information, really just to facilitate that idea of allowing both you guys who are watching right now to follow up and everybody who is hopefully watching who wasn't able to come to the meeting, the ability to also be able to get the same amount of information that everybody who had a free schedule tonight was. So this is hopefully going to be the new format from now on. As always, this is the first time we're doing it, so we can continue to change things if people have more ideas. But again, this was in effort to try to make these meetings more accessible and hopefully more productive for everybody involved. So thanks for sticking with us on our new experiment. And next, I just really quickly want to go over something that's really cool, something that we like to do every month is just kind of a brief overview of the team so far. As of right now, we've contacted over 170 organizations in the past 11 months since inception. We've given not nearly 48, nearly 50 presentations. We have 900 plus total followers on both Twitter and Instagram, hopefully approaching 1,000 in the next few weeks. We've been active almost 12 months as a team. I think it was this time last year in February, where like Addie and Kunal originally had the idea, and we were back on like a Discord with 4 or 5 people. And we've also created 11 videos in our Laser Talk series, with the first video, I think, cracking 100 views recently. Which is a big milestone. So for everybody out there, really just great work over the past year, really building this team. Your efforts have really shown, not only by getting new people involved, but also just by how much we've been able to grow from, again, 4 or 5 people on one Discord call a month. So that's just something, I guess, to revel in. But back to recent news, there's actually some really exciting stuff coming up that we can all look forward to in the future of CCL. We have the outreach event with Youth Upholding Democracy, which is an event that Presentations has been running with this other group called Youth Upholding Democracy, who are a national social justice group. We've been planning an event with them centered around both climate justice and also just voting in the midst of the climate crisis. And if you're at all interested in that, you can DM me, or you can just look on the presentations page for more information. We're hopefully going to be having a meeting on that soon, which you can also sign up for in that scheduling tab on the scheduling page of the Slack. Next, we contacted FutureWise to discuss local lobbying. I've been talking to them. There's going to be a little bit of a trial run tomorrow. I'm going to be going to a lobbying meeting with several other CCLers for the 41st district. It was in the middle of the day, so I didn't really figure. I figured everybody else would be more interested in doing school, which is totally fine. I actually had to skip a college meeting for it, but hopefully it will lead us to facilitate more local meetings with local representatives, and so you guys can have more opportunities to talk to the people who represent you directly, and also just have more opportunities to talk to people in government. Next, just looking at like what we've done, we've actually met with 8 new groups since the last meeting, and we've received 1 endorsement. That endorsement was, I believe, was it from Earth Force, Anna? No, it wasn't from Earth Force.
I think it was the Footprint app.
The Footprint app, yeah. So for those of you who remember, we actually did a trial run of the Footprint app, and they were, I suppose, so excited about what we've been doing and the fact that we helped them that they were able to give us an endorsement. So good job, us. We also are starting to begin editing our school outreach video that will hopefully be targeting high schoolers, groups like us, talking about not only what our climate policy is, the Energy Innovation and Carbon Dividend Act, but also about what the team does and how to get involved. So that way we don't have to continue doing tons of KCLS meetings. And instead we can have this like physical video to kind of encapsulate the team. Next, we're hopefully partnering with Skagit County Youth, who is a new youth group that's beginning up in obviously the Skagit County area on Laser Talks. In the past few weeks, we haven't had as many people on the Laser Talks team. So hopefully with Skagit County coming in, we have some fresh new ideas and ways to create more Laser Talks at a faster pace. And then finally, and I know I'm going super fast, we attended the Washington State Lobbying Days with other CCL members, which was really cool. Lobbying days will continue. Obviously, every few months we have lobbying days coming up in a month and a half, I believe. So for those of you who was your first time, great job. And for those of you who are interested in perhaps getting into lobbying, the Washington State Lobbying Days are probably one of the best ways to do so. And I'm sure Anna and Gwen and Tessa and I believe Lindsay could say the same thing. It's a really cool way to get involved. But beyond that, that's really what's going on in terms of recent news, as there's a few things to get involved in and there's a few things to celebrate. But now we're going to break into moving into what each individual department is doing. So we can highlight Anna and Lindsay and what social media and design and presentations have been doing. So we're going to start with outreach, and I'm going to throw it over to Anna and Lindsay.
Yeah, so to start with outreach, I'll be talking about it. I'm the outreach co-lead, as I said earlier. So since our last meeting, we've created a new rotation schedule for email, partly because the next bullet point, we've grown our team to 11 people. So right now, a rotation schedule works the best for sending out the amount of emails we want to until we can grow presentations department and just other teams in general. I've become the new another co-lead since our last meeting as well, because again, we've grown a lot as a team. We started a new spreadsheet tracker and also have started reaching out to new businesses just to get more endorsements in general. And we've also started a new meeting schedule, which is kind of a little bit complicated, but instead of having a weekly meeting every week, we're going to start having optional meetings every other week and regular meetings in the other weeks. And that will be starting after midwinter break. And basically every optional meeting will be open to all the departments, not just outreach, and we'll be focusing on special activities like climate art and writing letters to the editors, so just really interesting skills. And we'll have more information about this in the future, because again, the first one won't be for probably about 3 weeks. So we haven't worked out all the specifics yet, but that's something to look forward to. And currently as a team, we're working on a school outreach video to send out to different schools and working on reaching out to libraries around Washington to start more library programs. So how you can help as somebody not on outreach, you can join one of the weekly meetings we have, either one of the optional ones or just regular. If you DM me or Anna, we can get you the links to those. You can also offer to send some emails. We can link you up with the group Gmail and the Excel spreadsheet and help teach you how to send some emails if that's something you're interested in doing. And if you really like managing Google Docs and Excel stuff, you can also help us with our spreadsheet, as that's one of the biggest components of outreach, and help with that is always appreciated.
Thanks, Lindsay. As always, if you're interested in also joining the outreach team and you're not on the outreach channel, you can DM Addie or Gwen or I or Lindsay or Anna, and we can have you added to that team so you're included in all those pings. And of course, to DM someone, you just private message them on the Slack channel, or if you have their means of communication in any auxiliary manner. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about presentations. I'm going to slow down because I realized I probably went a little fast on recent news. In terms of presentation, we've actually done quite a few things. We've reformatted our outreach version of the presentation. So traditionally, we've only had one presentation that we've sort of kind of size fit all given to other organizations. And over the past few months, in fact, we've realized that in order to have better results meeting with other groups, we kind of needed to diversify. So we created a presentation that instead of highlighting the bill, more highlights the team itself and kind of what we've been doing, similar to a meeting like this. And we found, at least when we first gave it to a group like Earth Force, it was met with success. However, we're still building this model and we're still working on making it even better. So if you're at all interested in that, that is a possible project that we'd be willing to continue on. In addition, as I said earlier, we met with 8 new groups. We met with groups, I believe it was 3, mostly environmental groups that were at the Washington level, and then there were a few other groups that were oriented towards kind of helping youth groups. So that was really exciting. And also we have a new presenter orientation document. So if you're ever interested in presenting, or you're someone who has been part of presentations but really doesn't know how to get back into it or what they need to do in order to get to a meeting, I've created a document that I put in the presenter chat, and also I can send individually after this meeting, that has kind of a step-by-step list of what you can do in presentations, like from right now, to just go into the Slack and find a way to get involved in a meeting. So hopefully that will allow people to feel at least more confident in being able to know what to do. Because I understand, especially with the Slack being a little disorganized, it can be a little bit daunting when you're looking at just all of this mountains of evidence. In terms of long-term goals, we've actually just found out that we're going to be presenting at the JSA Activism Fair for WinterCon, which is a conference attended by several. How many people do we have now, Addie? Do we know?
So the WinterCon is actually a combination of 3 like JSA states. And JSA is a national organization, so it's going to be people from Washington, Oregon, Texas, and then all over the like upper East Coast. So we're looking at like probably around like 500, upwards of 500 people. But like, of course, it won't be like presenting directly to 500 people all at the same time. It's kind of more of a like filter through event. So, but more information to come on that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jake.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, more information to come on that. We're hoping that that can be more of a showcase of the bill itself, but maybe if we're trying also to get a few more people from the Washington area, there will be Washington area people there. Obviously, that's going to be a larger presentation than we normally have, so we'll be having more meetings on that, more targeted meetings. So if you're at all interested in that big opportunity, also allowing going to perhaps the convention, there'll be more info on that coming up, as Addie said, as we get more. Next, we're hoping to meet with more businesses, moving away from organizations, simply because we've reached out to so many organizations in our area that we're almost running out. So it's important to meet with businesses, because we've actually found that we have a better likelihood, or we have a greater likelihood of getting an endorsement from a small business than an organization, even though a small business can't help us in the same outreach vein as an organization can. Next, we hopefully are going to have more people leading presentations. That also comes with, again, having that orientation document and just more opportunities. We're hoping that everyone can maybe do the climate advocacy training again to learn more about the bill, and as the bill gets reintroduced, any changes that the bill might have. Next, we're hopefully trying to start reintroducing the resolution. This is something Anna brought up. About 6 or 7 months ago, we created a resolution to give to organizations who couldn't sign the Energy Innovation and Carbon Dividend Act, really instead asking for them to help us and kind of to support us. And we spent about a month making that, and then we firmly abandoned it and haven't touched it since. So that will also go out in the chat later for you all to look at, but it's just another way that we can hopefully leverage something after our meetings. So if we don't get an endorsement, it isn't a waste of time. And then last, maybe creating a video of people we've met with. This, as always, has to be pushed off until the end of like the outreach video is done, because that's taking the majority of time. But this is just an idea we're throwing around, maybe to highlight like the bipartisan and climate consensus that we've created. And if anybody has any ideas on something like that, I know I just gave a really brief description, but that's hopefully coming down the pipeline. So how you can help, I think I spliced it, I kind of like interspliced it between. You can join a presentation meeting and a workshop. The best way of doing that is going on the schedule page of the Slack. Right now, there are two different polls for meetings coming up that really don't have many responses right now. And that can also be because people aren't available. But I think more likely people haven't looked at that. And Addie's telling me to speed it up, so I'll go a little faster. Just look at the scheduling page, see if you have any times that you can go to, any of those times will work for you. Just put your name on that schedule and I will reach out to you independently for information. So yeah, again, and you can also DM me for more information. I think I'm up next. This is going to be really quick, I promise. So design, we really finished 5 new laser talks. We also created a laser talk guide similar to the presentation guide, which you can use to make laser talks. It has an outline of laser talks and everything. So a few more new people who are getting involved in writing scripts, like Lindsay and like a few other people, like Sam, I believe, is hoping to get involved in scripts, can have that ability and kind of have more access. So if you're all interested in getting involved in any part of the laser talk process, whether it be scripts, whether it be voicing the videos, or whether it be editing, that would be really helpful and much appreciated, since currently, before the Skagit team gets involved, we don't have a lot of people on that. And our current project is just animating that school outreach video. So now I'm going to throw it over to Addie. Oh, and how you can help, as I said earlier, just reach out to me or check out the design page for new opportunities.
So I'm gonna talk about social media. I'm sorry, Jake. I did text you and didn't choose to send it in the main chat because I didn't want to like call you out publicly, but I'm very sorry. But as usual, Jake is very on top of things and sped it up. So now it's my turn. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about social media in the past a little bit over a month, but we continue to post weekly on Instagram. We have a rising like count, and we're also having regular Twitter posts. So we have our like consistent social media presence. We have a little bit over 900 collective followers on the two platforms combined. And then this month we also have 2 new members of the social media team. Our current projects are, we have a department meeting coming up, and we're hoping to do a group brainstorming session. There is a when to meet out in the social media channel. So if you're in the social media channel, you should fill that out regarding the department meeting. And then I am also hoping to introduce an onboarding guide for social media specifically, including a Canva training in the next few weeks. So look out for that. And then how you can get involved is you can reach out to me or Elizabeth, who unfortunately is not here right now, but you can DM either of us on the Slack to be added to the post rotation schedule. And also if you'd like to get involved with social media, we can add you to the social media channel. And then fill out the when to meet for this upcoming meeting. And then just some other CCL material before we wrap up. If you aren't officially signed up, there is a link to do this. All these links also, we're going to be sending out the slides after. So I know it's kind of unuseful to like have the link and like not just like have it on the screen, but this will be sent out later. But if you're not officially signed up for CCL, that is really helpful. It gives you access to CCL community. It also signs you up for, depending on like which buttons you click and which you don't, it signs you up for like a variety of newsletters and reminders about just like important and exciting CCL events. Also, if you are new, fairly new, and want to learn more about CCL and the legislation, you can do that on the CCL website. There is a weekly call on Wednesday nights, but it's also recorded. I think it's around like 30 minutes long. and it's recorded so you can watch it anytime. It has some really great basic info for new people. Additionally, the climate advocate training is kind of like a little bit more of a complicated version of the intro call. So the intro call is just like, this is what CCL is. And then climate advocate training is more about like how to talk about the legislation specifically. So if you're in outreach or presentations, that is a super great opportunity. Jake talked about it a little bit earlier. So yeah. And then lastly, if you'd like to see what one of our presentations is like, if you're in a department other than presentations, but are just kind of interested in that, we have a recorded version and that is linked there as well. And then just to wrap us up, we hope that this presentation gave you a little bit of a better idea of what all of us are up to. It can sometimes feel a little bit disconnected between the departments, so I really like that we get to gather once a month or like a little bit more spaced out than that and just update each other. Like, I mean, even I learned a few new things today, which I think is fun. If you guys have any like questions, comments, ideas, those are always appreciated. You can reach out to your department lead, or you can reach out to Jake or me or Gwen. Really, anyone would be happy to talk to you about questions, ideas, comments. And as we kind of reviewed earlier, we have tons of opportunities to get more involved in different like sectors of CCL Youth Outreach. So if you are interested, feel free to reach out on any of these things that we talked about today. And then lastly, at least for me, we are kind of like wrapping up our first semester and like working our way into second semester. And I know that some of us have a break coming up. So just take some time to relax and de-stress. Hopefully this wasn't too much of a burden on your Monday night. And thank you all for being here. It was really nice to see you all. So yeah. Any final comments from anyone other than me?
Oh, Addie, I actually have a question for you. I'm not sure if you went over this already, but is there also, even though if someone may not be in the social media department, is there a way that can still support the social media department in any way?
Yeah, I mean, if it kind of depends on like what you might be interested in, but if you'd like to be added to the post rotation schedule, if you'd like to like make posts on our social media, you can reach out to me or Elizabeth. You can also just like, I don't know, like avidly like and comment on our social media. And we also have like, oh, Sachi, do you have something to share?
Yeah, if anyone's interested in TikTok, we need more people on that. You can reach out to me, Elizabeth, or Addie. But yeah, I'm the only person on TikTok right now. So
Yeah, that is a very good point. If you like TikTok, that's a good opportunity. But yeah, there you can engage with our social media or you can post on our social media. You can also come to our meeting if you'd like to. But yeah, any other questions, comments, thoughts? Okay, if not, I think we can stop the recording and